Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here like always. Thank you so much for viewing, liking, and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do so that you don't miss any future videos. Before we get started with today's video, I want to show you guys a little bit of the birds that I have available for sale. If anybody's interested in purchasing any of these birds that I have here, you can go into the description box of this video. In there, you're going to find the links to my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and you can send me a message directly through there. I have a couple of Gouldians, owl finches, and star finches available for those of you that are interested in them. Go ahead and reach out to me. Now, I can only sell within the US. That is the only place that I can ship. Unfortunately, I can't ship outside of the country because it's very difficult. And the best way to reach me, if you want to do that again, is through those links through my Instagram or my Facebook, because unfortunately the website is still not up and running. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing our series of aviaries from around the world. Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this series yet, it is a series that I created a while back where I take you to a variety of different aviaries in different parts of the world so that you get to meet the breeder, you get to see some of the species that he's working with. Maybe you get to learn a little bit more about the breeder's history, how he breeds these birds, what he feeds them, and so on, so that it helps you if you're working with the same species so that you can have better success. Along the way, you may learn a couple different tips and tricks that you weren't aware of, and that may help you out. And in today's video, we're going to be heading over to the continent of Africa to meet up with Heath. Heath is an amazing young man who breeds a variety of different species, and his aviary is just amazing. So without any further ado, let's head over to his aviary and let's take a look at some of the birds that he keeps and how he started in this beautiful hobby. Heath is an amazing young man that has truly impressed me with the dedication and knowledge he holds at such a young age. He started working with birds at the mere age of 10 years old. Now 13, he has been able to accomplish so much with hard work, dedication, and of course the help of his inspiring father. Although the majority of his time is spent in boarding school, Heath was able to build this beautiful aviary over the course of 4 weekends, working from dusk till dawn. The main aviary measures 8 meters by 4 meters. Besides this large planted aviary, he also has 5 flights for his Gouldians, Bengalese, and zebra finches, and another 2 flights for the parakeets and lovebirds. As you guys can see, this young man has an exquisite collection of birds, around 80 in total between the finches, hookbills, quails, and chickens. He is currently working with species like Gouldians, zebras, Bengalese, grass parakeets, lovebirds, cordon bleus, violet-eared waxbills, quail finches, red-billed fire finches, black-faced waxbills, ribbon finches, red-headed finches, Melba finches, orange-breasted waxbills, spectacled doves, pygmy doves, Peruvian doves, button quails, harlequin quails, and golden-breasted bunting. The majority of the Australian species are easy to find in his area, but when it comes to the indigenous birds of Africa, well, those, believe it or not, are harder to find and buy. Many of these species require licenses to be kept in captivity, and finding good quality birds is always an issue. Now guys, I want you to think about that for just 1 minute. He lives in the continent of Africa, yet the hardest birds to find are the indigenous species. Now think about what that means for the rest of us and why it's so important to focus on the species that we currently have and not rely so much on importations. If, for example, us here in the US or in different parts of Europe, if we do not focus on these species that we currently have, like the violet ears, the purple grens, and some of the more exotic species, the diboskis, the greenback twin spots, if we do not focus on making sure that we breed these birds and we get their numbers up in captivity and are relying on the importations that are coming in, sooner or later, it will become a problem. And not just sooner or later, it has definitely become a problem over the past few years. These imports have drastically slowed down. For example, one of the birds that I was able to notice here in his beautiful aviary was the blue-breasted cordon bleus. And this was a species that I used to have years ago. Back in 2010, 2011, I used to keep the blue-breasted cordon bleu along with, for example, the Melba, which is also another beautiful species that I was able to see here in his aviary. And these are birds that unfortunately over the years just completely disappeared from US aviculture. These were species that I was lucky enough to get during a time when they were plentiful. Back in 2007, the importations opened up in the US and we were receiving large numbers of a variety of different species that we had not seen in many years, the blue-breasted cordon blues being one of them, the melbas, and many others. Now, unfortunately, during this time, I was a novice in this hobby and did not have the knowledge that it required to bring these two species up in captivity and make sure that I had a good amount of bloodlines and make sure that I didn't lose them later on. So unfortunately, these were species that I ended up losing and did not get ahead with them. I sometimes feel like bird keeping is becoming a lost art amongst our younger generation. This is a hobby where the majority are of age, and unfortunately, many don't like to share their secrets to success with the species they keep. And in a hobby as difficult as this one, where a single mistake can cause you an entire breeding season, many of the younger aviculturists become disappointed early on with failure and end up abandoning what they once loved. First of all, Heath, thank you so much for taking the time to send us those videos. We have loved taking a look at your aviary. Your birds are beautiful. Your aviary is beautiful. And it's amazing how much you've been able to accomplish at such a young age. I wish you the best of luck with your breeding season. Hopefully you get some of those very hard to breed species to go ahead and successfully give you some chicks like the violet ears, the melbas, the cordon blues. They all look great and they look very happy in their enclosures. So best of luck to you. If any of you guys are interested in following Heath and following his progress along his breeding season or checking out his aviary or more from his birds, make sure to go to the description box below. There, we're going to go ahead and link any of his social media profiles so that you guys can go ahead and follow him. If you're also interested in contributing and sending us some videos so we can continue this series of aviaries around the world, go to the comments section. Let me know what type of birds you're working with. Let me know what part of the world you're from, and I will get in contact with you so that we can make a video very similar to the one that you saw here today. If you've enjoyed it, like always, remember to hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see each other in the next video. Bye.